What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to Big Apple Baseball Banter, episode 18. We got a whole lot of topics to talk about. Big trades, kind of big signings, and a top 10 shortstops. Let's banter. Jeez, I was saying too
Right
much.
on time.
All right, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back to Big Apple Baseball Banter, episode number 18. We got a huge announcement, and we got a great show for you guys today. Big announcement is our podcast. We're officially a podcast. We are now on iTunes and Spotify. So please go check us out on there, whatever platform you have. If you use iTunes, so we have a link tree in the description. We got our all of our links to all of our content there. If you use iTunes, please follow us and also give us a 5-star and a review. Please give us a review. We'll read reviews out here. It helps push our stuff out. Share it to your friends, all that. Ben, how you doing tonight, man?
I'm doing pretty good. You?
And I'm doing good, man. I heard about this really awesome Instagram account. It's called like big.apple.baseball.banner. Like they do something really. What do they do on there?
I'm glad you asked. Big.apple.baseball.banner.
Matthew
No caps,
Howe
no
in the
spit.
house. What up, man?
Matt Howe, what's up?
What's up,
so
man?
that Instagram though, one of the best. We break all MLB news. An hour late, but it's out there. Some crazy good stats putting out. It's just one of the best Instagrams you'll ever find. And I mean, we stay current. We upload almost every
with
day.
The Arenado trade, when it first broke, I didn't post it for like 2 days, but then when it officially broke, then I posted it. What's up, Matt? All right, guys, you know the drill. Pinned link in the chat. Call in, talk baseball with the boys. You can talk Mets, you can talk Yankees, you can talk all baseball. Matt, how you doing, man? 3 people in the chat. Let's go. That's pretty quick for our standards. Please like, comment, subscribe, share our channel. We're trying to grow and stuff. Really appreciate you guys. So let's hop into some news and then we'll take a call once we get a call online. So I just want to get this crap out of the way. The freaking this guy,
dry humping guys, is something that I feel very strongly about.
This idiot.
Same.
Not really, Mets or Yankees news. Obviously, he was a Mets manager. Just like Jared Porter, from freaking sexual harassment allegations came out over the internet, stuff like that. I don't know the exact timeline. There was just on Twitter and stuff. It was like something big is going to happen. And then it said a couple people left mesmerized or whatever. And then the news broke about this. The thing that I hate is that the freaking Angels are suspending him. He didn't get fired, which is a joke. The Mets fired Porter right when, he got, his thing. So I don't really want to talk about it. It's also the Steve Cohen situation with the stocks. I honestly don't know enough about it to get into it, but
y'all need to put your shit together. Your front office is just collapsing. I mean, I'm counting Callaway.
It's not front office. It's ownership. But, man.
That counts.
Mickey Mouse Callaway. Mets talk with Hayden. What's happening, man? All right, we got a caller on the line. Let's go to my man, Matt Howe. Matt, how you doing, man?
Yo.
What's up, bro? How you doing?
So,
what are your Red Sox doing? You guys are actually making some moves.
Yeah. We're doing pretty good.
Yeah.
We got
probably 4th place team, but I think it's the time to Mets versus the Yankees Red Sox rivalry. They should duke it out a bit.
All right, bet.
So Matt, who's winning the AL East this year?
Red Sox, definitely.
All right. Let's talk about that rotation.
I would say Rays.
Oh, I don't know.
No, they trade everyone. They're not very good. Like they never have like the talent. Hayden wants to see Jeter Downs come up. He's a Red Sox prospect, but no. The thing about the Rays is like, yeah, they never really have the talent. They just kind of have the results always. But dude, they're a starting pitching team that lost their 2 best starting pitchers.
Oh yeah, true.
Like
Snell
and Morton. Glasnow's all right. Yarbrough's all right. Like they don't really have any stars. There was did you see the Ozuna rumor though? I'm like, there's no way in hell they're trading. They're signing that guy. Like a
Oh,
guy with
no
no
way.
defensive value for 4 years, 88 million. Like that's the most unraised move ever.
Yeah, I mean, not only does he not have the defense, they can't pay 22 average a year. That's
Exactly.
just insane to think.
Yeah.
Especially because don't they have Tsutsugo for another year? And he has a pretty high contract for Ray standards.
Yeah, and also with DH, you probably want Austin Meadows being your DH anyways.
Exactly.
Plus, I don't think the Rays aren't a team to just get one guy locked in at DH. Like they want guys with versatility. So it doesn't make much sense. Matt, I got a question for you. Who's got the better team, Mets or Yankees? Bias aside, Mets or Yankees? Who's got the better team?
Mets have been making a lot of moves. They got Lindor now.
They do?
Oh, haven't or have? I thought you said
Have.
haven't. I was like,
have.
okay, yeah, I was about to say.
Yeah. I don't know. Depends how many injuries the Yankees have.
That is so
Depends how
true.
many injuries the
Yankees
Mets
with
have.
injuries, Mets are definitely better.
What do you tell Ben?
Yeah.
How ugly his
Facts,
sweater
that's
is.
what that guy said.
I just saw the
Says
ugly
how
and
you
that and
tell-
just
how-
I thought it was just gonna be about me. Jeez.
I gotta put on my Red Sox.
Okay.
Oh yeah,
All
get
right,
your Red
bet,
Sox stuff
bet.
on. Okay, we got this is
Ooh, is that a
Boston
Mookie poster in the
baseball banter
background?
now.
Yep.
Oh no! Oh, you poor
Sad, bro.
thing.
It's sad.
What a shame.
I know.
Man, doing some good stuff with that team in LA.
I know.
And they
It's
kind of won a
tough.
World
It's tough
Series.
to watch.
Oh, yeah.
I thought he was coming. You guys, Boston fans kept telling me he's coming back.
I thought he
They
was
said,
too.
"Oh, he'll spend 1 year with the Dodgers and then he'll be right back." You can't turn
I
you
don't
can't
know
turn
about
down the money the Dodgers gave and pretty much guaranteed wins. But Matt, my last question for you is: where's Trevor Bauer going to sign?
Oh man. Who are the favorites? I know the Mets are up there.
It's the Mets and the Dodgers are the two teams, and the
Yeah,
Mets supposedly made like a 3-year, $95 million offer, something like that.
That's good. Bauer likes his 1-year offers though, doesn't he?
He does.
He does.
But I think
he
because
does.
he just came off such a good year, I don't think he wants to take a 1-year deal. But also, everyone's talking about how much, how fluky it was, and which I disagree with. I think.
Oh, it was
you know,
not a
yes,
fluke.
yeah, I think just watch the games and you can tell this dude. And I'm a big Trevor Bauer vlogs fan too, so that's kind of another reason why I want him as a Met. Just imagine him and DeGrom and Alonso. It's I feel like DeGrom's the kind of guy who's like, dude, get the camera out of my fucking face, man. I don't know. He's so serious, but he's like, get
not
the,
too fun.
the freaking camera out of my face. But Alonso would love it. Like guys like Dom Smith and JD Davis who just having a good time.
Yeah,
like, those
I'd
guys
say
would
he
love
goes
it.
to the Mets. I'd say he goes.
I do too, honestly. And I wouldn't. I wouldn't hate. Oh, nice. I wouldn't hate for him not to come in the Mets. I think there's so many moves to make. I think trading for or signing a center fielder, your boy Jackie Bradley. He's coming off a really good year.
Yeah.
Do Red Sox fans overrate the shit out of him? Yeah.
Best defensive center fielder in the league, bro.
That's just simply not
Actually,
true.
wait, no, he does have a point. He does have a point.
He is the best.
Not the best. He's up there. He's up there.
He was
He's not
second
the
best in outs above average last year.
defensively.
Kiermaier's probably better.
He's got the best.
Not last year.
Best arm in the league? Ooh.
Yeah.
No, Ramon Laureano in Oakland.
Yeah,
You've seen that guy.
He does have a cannon.
Him or Carlos Correa's, but that's an infielder arm. It's kind of different.
That doesn't count.
Yeah, I'm talking outfielder, but
Mm-hmm.
man, Matt, you have a good night with that, and go cry at your Mookie Betts poster, man. Thanks for calling in.
Boys.
Yeah, call in
All
again,
right,
man. Thank you.
See ya.
All right, there we go, my buddy Matt. Oh, good question right here. Who has the better personality, Bauer, Machado, or Hart? Bauer, because
Bauer.
these guys, these Machado, I don't think Harper has the personality issues people think he has. I think it's just pure. I think him and Bauer, and I think Manny Machado's cleaned up his act too. People act like Bauer just got the biggest ego in the world. I think what he does, the stuff he does, a lot
he
of
kind
it is
of
to grow
does.
baseball. He does, but it seems like a lot of what he does is to grow baseball.
Well, I don't think wearing a Kansas City shirt, undershirt, and then throwing a shutout against them, and then ripping off his Reds jersey to unrevealed that he had some promotion shirt for the Royals was necessarily a ploy to grow the game of baseball. I think that was just a pimp that he just shut him out. I mean, I still loved watching it. I just don't think it was to grow baseball. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Machado is probably the bottom on this list, and then
Oh,
Harper.
for
Harper
sure.
just gets at it with the umpires a lot, just because he's a competitive dude, man.
That's
He's
kind of what
honestly, it's
Machado
weird to
is too,
say.
but like they're just both
Yeah,
super angry,
I think
which I
Machado's
mean
cleaned up his act a
happens in
bit,
every
but it's
sport.
been interesting to
Mhm.
talk about. Yeah.
I don't
Let's
consider
not.
Machado a wuss anymore. Like
I don't
he's
either.
he still gets super angry, but I wouldn't necessarily like. I don't pity people that have to be around him,
Right.
if that makes sense.
All
Yeah.
right, we're gonna go into some more news stories. If you guys want to call in, you know the drill. Uh, let's talk about. Oh no, right here. Masahiro Tanaka to the Rakuten Golden Eagles. You gonna miss him, man?
I'm gonna miss him so much.
Yeah, it's gonna be weird, man. Because I didn't. The rumor was he's either going to the major. He's either staying with the Yankees or he's going to Japan. But I guess he
Yeah.
just wants to be in Japan. You know, I mean, he's
Yeah.
from there. It makes sense. You know, living in a completely different country with the somewhat of a language barrier. It's tough. Like I don't have
Oh, for
experience with
sure.
it, but I understand for sure. And people are saying, oh, how come he got he didn't get he took a lot of money at the Golden Eagles. They're like, oh, he probably could have gotten more in MLB. It's like, well, he probably just wanted to go back to Japan.
Yeah. And plus,
So
I'm not even sure the Yankees offered him anything more than what the Eagles offered him because, I mean, the Yankees just
it's
signed
so weird
Kluber.
seeing the Eagles. It was so weird hearing you say the Eagles. I'm like they play football, Ben,
I'm sorry, Golden Eagles.
but
My mistake.
the Golden Eagles. You know who are you familiar with Draftnik Mark, the Mets YouTuber?
I am familiar with
Well, he's
Draftnik
not a
Mark.
Mets YouTuber, but he's a big Mets fan who's a baseball YouTuber. He had this
Yeah.
guy who when he in his MLB The Show days who was like he played really well with named Jabari Blash,
Hmm.
who ended up in Japan with the Golden Eagles. He retired recently, so like
Yeah.
pretty much everyone, like every like fan of his is a freaking Rakuten Golden Eagles fan. So it's good to
Yeah.
see him going to the Golden Eagles. So I guess they're I'd say they're my personal NPB team.
Nice.
I
Nice.
don't really care, but we got
I
another
gotta go with.
caller on the line.
Oh,
Oh wait, yeah. Here, wait,
I gotta go
who's
with the
your pick?
Giants though. I forgot what
Ooh,
they're.
I thought they're KBO. No,
I
no,
think they
no, they're
are.
Japan.
No, they're
They're Japan.
NPB. I just like them because they look exactly like the New York / San Francisco Giants. So I
Yeah,
mean,
I
I
heard
just think
they're
it's kind
like
of
the
funny.
comp. They're like the Yankees comp. Like they're the evil empire in Japan.
Yep.
All right, let's go to my man Mets talk with Hayden. Hayden, how you doing, man?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me, guys.
Of course,
Of
man.
course.
If you guys don't know, me and Hayden did a collab the other day. It's on his channel. We have a couple videos coming out together. It was about Nolan Arenado. We got some good vids coming out. So look forward to that on our channel and Hayden's channel. Hayden, we
Sure.
talked about this. We DM'd about this a bit earlier. And Ben, I need your reaction on this. We have a trade idea. For me, if you know me, I would do anything to make this happen. Hayden, what is it again? What are the details again?
Hold up. Let me pull it up. You got
Okay, so yeah, say it.
hold up.
You're
Let me
good.
pull it up. Here, let me just write it down. Give me a second.
Yeah, you're good.
All right.
It's for a player that I'm higher on than you are. I'm a big
Wilson
fan.
Contreras.
No. And why would we need him? We just signed a catcher.
I don't know.
I'm much higher on him than you are.
Mhm.
He plays a position that's not necessarily a huge hole in the Mets, but we could use an upgrade, especially defensively.
Alrighty, can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Yo.
Yeah, we can hear you, man.
Yeah.
Can you hear us? Here, I'm gonna remove you and join you back in real quick. Here, does this work now?
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yeah, you're good.
All right, bet. So we have Matt Chapman going to the New York Mets, and in return, the Oakland Athletics will be receiving Brandon Nimmo, J.D. Davis, and Brett Beatty.
Ooh.
Thoughts?
Ooh.
And I'd be willing to add like a pitching prospect, like what's his name, Thomas Sapucki or someone. I don't want to get rid of like Matt Allen or.
Personally, Sapuki, I would hold on to just because how close he is to the majors.
Yeah.
And, as we've seen the whole Jared Kelenic thing, I
You
He's up
don't want to
there.
get rid of prospects, but it's not like he's some top guy. But yeah, he's definitely our closest to MLB ready prospect when it comes to pitching. Like our other guys, Matt Allen and JT Ginn, are so far away. All of
yeah.
our prospects in general are just years away. Like our farm system is pretty terrible right now. I don't really want to give up a ton of prospects, but I'd be willing to give maybe instead of Nimmo, you give Mauricio because he has a ton of value, and we don't need a shortstop if we get Lindor long term,
Hmm.
Yeah,
and
I
we
mean,
don't need a
definitely.
second
I
baseman.
wouldn't
I think
mind.
you need to give Nimmo
This is
for the
I
A's
would
to
only
accept.
get
They would want him, yeah.
prospects. I would only want to get rid of one. So the prospects you got to be careful with. I'd rather get rid of either. I mean, if we're doing Mauricio in there, then we should throw out Beatty. Then we should take out Beatty because I'd rather not throw in
Yeah,
two.
yeah, or you could swap the two, yeah.
And then, I mean, listen, Nimmo. I mean, yeah, the A's definitely the Oakland Coliseum is quite the hitter's park.
No, it's more pitcher park, I thought.
Nah, I know. That's why I'm joking.
Okay. Should've
So
cut the sarcasm
I don't
there.
know. I mean, do they really need an outfielder? I think Chapman on the Mets would be great. Listen, he's a Gold Glove caliber guy,
Platinum
all-star,
glove caliber.
Platinum
yeah.
glove, yeah, he's
He's
ridiculous.
approaching age 28, 29. That's when players destroy, their
Tear it up. And then you get away from Oakland, you hit even better in New York.
absolutely City Field, definitely. And listen, he's a solid guy that'll give you, a 270, 280 batting average and 30 home runs. How would you
average is lower than that. He's usually more of a 250, 260 guy. But
yeah.
And before last year, he got on base really well. Last year, he had like a 288. It was really bad. He was hurt too.
278, 232. So yeah, I mean, listen, batting average, that's not so
It's
much.
not
But
everything.
Batting average does not mean anything whatsoever.
No, but his OPS is solid, 864, 848, 812. So these are numbers that you would want, especially coming out of a pitcher's park. I'm sure these numbers would skyrocket. And his defensive value, I mean, that glove, he's like,
it's absurd.
He's underrated.
Going from Davis to him is just night and day. Because without a DH, which it looks like this year, our team is pretty bad defensively. If you have Nimmo in center, Dom in left, and JD Davis at third, like that's pretty rough.
That's very rough.
Great defensively. Yeah, he's Chapman's ridiculous defensively. I was kind of on the Matt Chapman train before other people were, and now I think there's a little too many people that he's kind of become a bit overrated just because how many people there are. But he's still my guy. I was on the Chapman train before a lot of people. I was just wowed by his glove, and he hits for really good power. Hits a lot of doubles too. He's coming back from a pretty big injury, but we'll see how that works. It's not like
Chapman,
it's a hip injury, I think.
But I mean, this is fuck. What I was gonna say, shit. Give me a second.
No, you're good.
It's about the Mets and the defense. Listen, I mean, you look at the Mets defense, and everyone's bashing the defense. My thing is, I'm neutral about it. Listen, we don't need an all-star and a Gold Glover at every position, but I could say, looking at a 2015 perspective during the regular season, Daniel Murphy, Lucas Duda.
Oh God!
But then that's when the playoffs came into.
Then they blew the
and that's
game,
when it demolished us. In the World Series, Lucas Duda's throw to home plate, Daniel Murphy going under his glove. So it's plays like that, it's certain times that trigger the outcome. So I think definitely, is defense the top priority during the regular season? No. But the playoffs is really when you need that. So, I mean, definitely maybe I would say this. Why not start the season as it is? And during the trade deadline, you could pick someone up.
I like that. And my thing with defense, too, is let's say you sign Bauer. You have 3 strikeout pitchers in your rotation. So how important really is the defense? DeGrom's going to strike everyone out. Syndergaard's a strikeout monster. Bauer's struck out everyone last year. Stroman,
and not to mention Carrasco. Carrasco's a huge strikeout pitcher.
Yeah, Stroman's not the biggest strikeout guy, but he keeps the ball on the ground, which is nice. So third base is. But here's the thing with JD Davis. I think he has potential at third base. You just hear me out. He improved a lot. Stats may not show it, but eye test wise, from 19 to 20, it was a big improvement. 19, all of his errors were just him bobbling the ball and just poor mechanics coming with his hands. His feet were all over the place. He was pretty clueless. But 2020, he came in as a left fielder, so I don't think he had the preparation to play third base. Now, he sure didn't have the preparation to play left field. That's for sure. My God, he was
Oh no, he
ran around in
he's
circles
awesome.
out there, but he was pretty rough out there. So I like Davis's bat though, but Chapman's a better hitter. Miles better defender, so I wouldn't be mad
Oh, yeah.
parting ways
No, of
with
course.
JD
I mean,
Davis.
listen, is this a realistic trade? Probably not.
No.
A lot of people I've mentioned it to called me crazy. They said, "Oh, Chapman, 3 years left, okay," and then they say, "Oh, but he's the face of the franchise." I'm like, and Arenado wasn't. So I mean, it's like
There's no
it's
such thing as a face of the franchise.
Well, the
in
A's are
Oakland.
still competitive,
They
and the
trade.
Rockies are
Yeah.
I know,
not competitive.
but the A's don't have faces of the franchise. Once you get good, they trade you.
Yeah.
well,
just
right.
like the
I
Rays.
think the A's. I mean, they're a team where now in the AL West. I mean, put the Rangers to aside. Their GMs, screwing them from the behind. But I think it's really, I mean, the Astros now with the whole cheating scandal, will they be able to travel to Yankee Stadium or around the leagues and,
Ooh, I can't
have the
wait.
pressure from fans and having fans in the stands? Is that going to destroy them? The mental piece.
Can't freaking
And, I think
wait.
Justin Verlander being out for the season, So I think, honestly, the West is up for grabs. The A's could take over. I mean, the Angels, they just need pitching, but, they're cheap as hell and they won't go out for it.
Oh my God! Don't get me started on the Angels. It's
The
like
Mariners could
it's like
potentially move up.
I guess we can talk about this move right now. Angels need pitching. What do they do? Here, let me sign the thing. Let me find the thing. They freaking trade for Alex Cobb. I saw a comment on one of their posts. It was like, now we have 2 number 2s, a 3, and then like 6 number 5s.
Yeah, he's
Like, just get yourself, just spend the freaking money. Now, please don't, because I want Bauer. But the Angels need him, especially, and also freaking fire Callaway too. Like, don't just suspend him. Like,
I
the
thought
Mets
they
didn't
kicked.
spend any time. Nope,
I thought
he's
they
just
fired him.
suspended, and they're going to be investigating. Like,
Well,
the
they're
Mets didn't spend any.
gonna fire.
They didn't spend any time, investigating Porter because all the evidence was there.
Trust
Just
me,
fire him.
with all the stuff going on today, they're not gonna. They would get demolished if they kept Callaway in that team. With all the stuff going on in the world today, they would get destroyed with having him in a jersey.
For sure.
With those allegations out, he would get. Yeah, they
It's a
would
tough
fire.
loss for them too, because as shit as he was with the manager for us, he's
Yeah.
a great pitching mind. It seems like great pitching follows him wherever he goes. So, but
Speaking
Well,
of,
we also have to know that piggybacking on how you said the Angels have 2 number 2s, one of which I'm guessing is Dylan Bundy. I don't think Dylan Bundy's going to be a 2 moving forward, seeing as he was one of the names that Bubba referenced in the Angels, like pine tar, his secret substance.
but they're not banning
Because I mean, well, they're going to try to strike down on it, and they're definitely going to strike harder on those pitchers that were named. That's why I'm pretty worried about Cole. I shouldn't be, but I am. And Bundy and all the other pitchers' names like Verlander, I think it was Scherzer, Wainwright. Wainwright had an insane bounce back. I mean, if they're going to strike down on him, they can get him out of the league by next year.
No, let me ask you guys this question. It's about Luis Rojas. How do you feel about him going into the season? Are you skeptical? Are you questioning?
I think you have to give him a shot. I think it's ridiculous calling him out for last year when he wasn't prepared because he didn't have the job until spring training. Then the season gets shut down. I think he was pretty much learning on the job. It's his first year on the job. I think it's not like a head, football coach where they have to like manage a team, manage the clock, sometimes call the plays, stuff like that. It's definitely more replaceable, so I wouldn't be pissed to get rid of him. But the thing with him, I made a video about this too. He faced a ridiculous amount of adversity last year. His whole pitching staff went down and Matt's played like shit. Waka was terrible. Porcello wasn't good. So yeah, no pitching staff. Yes, he made questionable decisions, but it's first year on the job. I think he needs to spend some time to evaluate, and I think he'll be a solid manager. And man, he galvanizes the team so well. He's got the players love this guy, and they play hard for him. They all love him. He was with them in the minor leagues. I'm guessing. I'm not guessing. I know a little more than Ben. Do you know anything about Luis Rojas, or do you have an opinion about him? Or
I mean, I've been living with Aaron Boone for the last 3 years, so I mean, how bad can Luis Rojas be?
I mean, when you look at Luis Rojas, I definitely agree. Those are all valid points you're bringing up. My only 2 recommendations for Luis Rojas would be stand up for his players more. I mean, we saw this past season there were a couple of incidents, with strikeouts, and McNeil wasn't happy, and he just sit there like, I'm like, talk to your player. He's sitting there cursing on live TV. Go up and talk to him. And I think there was one call that stood out when McNeil didn't like the call.
Yeah,
and then
John Boy made a video about it.
Dugout, and Rojas is just sitting there. I'm like, talk to your ball player. Talk to him. Stand up for your players. I think there was like one time when he came out of the dugout and argued with the umpire, and he's like, Luis in the dugout, and he's like, okay. I'm like,
that's the one thing I liked about Callaway. That dude got fired up.
Todd Frazier.
That's the one thing I love about Boone.
John was like, you gotta toss him. You gotta toss him. And he had the freaking Jolly Rancher lip that John Boy called him that. And like when Cano got hit in the hand, but they said it was on the barrel of the bat. He gets in their face. That's true. I want to see Rojas do that more. I want like a like a Ron Gardenhire, someone like that, like an old guy who gets fired up. There's nothing like that. But I'll take the young guy getting fired up. But yeah, I want him to get fired up more. That's a very good point.
And then there's another funny story. When the Nationals were beating the Mets, it was like the second or third last game of the season. They were like being demolished, like 14 to whatever. And Rojas was like doing push-ups in the freaking dugout.
Really? I didn't watch that game. After it was a doubleheader.
I think it was that one. Yeah, he's like doing.
It was the last game of the year. They got their asses whooped. Freaking Steven Matz happened. I didn't watch that game. I'm like, yeah, I'm done with this.
Well, listen, I think that was a summary of the Wilpons reign, monarchy of the Mets. I think it's the better times with Mr. Cohen and Rojas. But listen, I think it's the Mets. I'm personally very positive going into the season. Do I think we're, listen, I think April, we're always a World Series team in April. 2018, we were like 14-1. So
we went off.
Yeah, of course, right. And I think
you and the Mariners
happened.
I remember the Mariners in 2019.
Mariners are always insane.
2019 after they traded everyone.
Yeah, of course. I think a lot of teams are definitely good towards the beginning of the season, but I think the Mets need to keep that. And then once May comes, they need to strive on that. And then the All-Star break comes, and I think, before the All-Star break, we're playing teams like the Pirates and those cruddy teams, so that'll definitely help boost us up. But, I'm very excited, for an All-Star game. We'll have to see how that goes, of course. But I'm just glad the season's starting on time. Listen, you need baseball to start. You can't be wasting any more money.
Yeah.
All right, I got one more question for you, Hayden. And also, if anyone's, we got one person in the chat. If anyone wants to put this, I'm really curious to put this in the chat too. Would you sacrifice, let's say, 10 games, like a 10-game season delay, to get the DH?
Yeah, you have to repeat all that. You just got cut out. You have to repeat all that. You got cut out.
Would you lose a few games, like 10 games, let's say, delay the season a little bit to get a DH in the National League?
Yeah.
No?
Because
yes.
Who are we going to like everyone's like DH. I mean, personally, when it comes to the DH, I have my mixed emotions about it. I think if it was 5 years ago, I wouldn't really care for the DH. But now that I think we have such a compact lineup, we need the DH. Do I think, I don't know, the DH, it's one of those topics where it has its pros and cons. Listen, it extends players for a long time, prevents injuries, but, you also have the history of it. Honestly, for 10 games.
So you like watching pitchers hit?
Not necessarily.
You like bunting and automatic outs?
Not necessarily. Don't get me wrong. As much as I would love to see a Bartolo Colon home run or a DeGrom home run, I've actually witnessed a DeGrom home run. Personally, I prefer the DH more, but I wouldn't sacrifice 10 games over it. I mean, we played 2019 fine without the DH for the most part. So now that we have a better batting order, better pitching, I don't really
offensively, yes. Defensively, no. Defensively would have helped us out in 20. Actually, probably wouldn't. Our defense still would suck.
Defensively, we had Davis.
I think just the fact that two of your best hitters are first basemen just screams you need a DH.
Well,
I think
Conforto. I mean, here's the thing about Smith. As much as I like Dom Smith, listen, he's a great player, great person, whatever. Everyone's like, oh, MVP. He played 60 games. I mean, we've never seen him play. I mean, if you want to make this whole thing with Tatis too, by all means. We've never seen these guys play.
No.
Tatis is,
if you're calling Tatis the best player, the best shortstop in baseball, or like a top 10 player in baseball is ridiculous.
No.
Also,
have you guys looked
what
at
the hell are these
Statcast
MLB
by
Network
chance?
top 10 ranking lists? These things are
I know,
fucking
right? They're
joke.
horrible.
Ozzy Albies at 10, freaking Trevor Story at what? Which Trevor Story, top. I think he's 2. We actually have our shortstop today. Trevor Story's a
2?
phenomenal player. Okay.
I didn't
If
put
you
him. I didn't put him that high.
Okay, if you say Nolan Arenado can't be the best third baseman in baseball because he played in Colorado,
Oh
then what?
no!
How is Trevor Story
That's a
number 1?
horrendous argument.
It's ridiculous.
I know,
But anyways,
and that's
Hayden, man. Yo, thank you so much for calling in, man. Thanks as always. We're gonna do some videos together, man, for sure. I'll clip that segment of the Matt Chapman trade talk, but really appreciate it, man. And everyone, go check out Hayden's channel. He's been grinding, put up some fire content. He flexes his pennant wall at us at the beginning of every video.
It's so good.
Go
it's too good.
Go check out Brewers Talk with Hayden. Just kidding.
Brewers.
Mets Talk with Hayden. Every time I talk,
I
to you,
love
it
the
looks like
hat.
you're wearing a Brewers hat.
Oh, I
wearing
my hat collection. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a sick hat.
Oh, nice.
I appreciate it.
I'm rocking the old school, old school Mets.
Hey, listen, hat's a hat.
Yeah.
I'm rocking the
so Hayden, man,
sweatshirt.
thanks for calling in, man. See you next time. Fire talk as always with Mets Talk with Hayden. Appreciate him coming. Ooh. And let's knock out some more news. We got some quick stories, some longer stories. Alex Avila to the Nationals. He's just the Kurt Suzuki replacement. He'll just be platooning. Yeah. What his role at the Twins last year was a second or third catcher. Not much to it. Adam Wainwright returns to St. Louis. Was phenomenal last year, and he's like 40 years old. He's like the face of the franchise. Him and Yachty almost. I know he's not like the best player on the team. He's been there for forever. The freaking. It's crazy to think like the legendary Carlos Beltran strikeout in the playoffs. He got struck out by Adam Wainwright in 2006. That's how long this guy's been playing. So
yeah, wow.
Yeah. So it's crazy.
I think if he can have maybe like 1-2 more good years, or just not even good years, just years in general, he's definitely going to make the Hall ballot. I don't think he's making it, but he's going to make the ballot.
He's like Mark Burley. He was never like the best pitcher in baseball. He just was a great pitcher for a long time.
I think Burley's making the Hall of Fame.
Okay, but I'm not first ballot. Burley was definitely better than Wainwright. I think Wainwright's, he hasn't had but last year was one of the better years in his career. Obviously, just a 60-game season. You can't say everything, but he was great last year. It's great to see a guy finish his career where it started and where it probably will end. So this move I thought was good, but really confusing. So the Cubs signed Jock Peterson. Let me pull up, which makes not a lot of sense because you could have just tendered Kyle Schwarber. I mean, like, they're
the
very
same
similar
player.
players. They're very similar players, if not the same type of player. So let me get the contract information on here. So
I'm actually kind of excited about this. And the reason being is because if you don't know, Jock Peterson is like not only babyface Jock, but he's also like known for just having these random tangents whenever he swings and misses or like hits a chopper.
Screams
like so
shit.
Loudly. And
without fans, it's the first game of the season against San Francisco. I was like, all right, this should be a fun season without fans. Like, sucks you don't see that energy, and the artificial crowd noise can get kind of cheesy, but that's the one thing you hear everything. So he signed 1 year, $7 million. Again, it doesn't really make much sense when you could have just kept Jock Peterson. Hayden says, thanks for having me as always. Forgot to ask, do you think McNeil is properly rated number 2 for second base? Yes. We put him number 2? Oh, no, you didn't have him as second baseman on your list.
But I would have put him second or third.
Yeah, he's my number 2. No doubt about it. Maybe number 1. We'll see how this year goes right then. After all,
DJ LeMahieu was snubbed of the MVP last year. DJ LeMahieu is quite possibly the greatest player in baseball history.
That's very true. But next move. Any last thoughts on Jock Peterson?
The reason why I was so excited about his screaming tangents is because like the Cubs, I mean, you got Chris Bryant, one of the most fun players, Rizzo, one of the most fun players, Baez, one of the most fun players, and now you're giving him Jock Peterson too. That's just gonna be so fun to watch.
I just
So
don't understand why are they deciding to make moves
Oh.
now when they traded Darvish and they
it
like
makes no sense.
like teams that
No.
make these rebuild moves and then decide to compete. Like they're like, oh shit, let's actually compete now. Hey Padres, can we have him back?
Yeah.
But which by the way, the whole NL Central decided to wake up this week, which is pretty interesting. But and by the way, we're going chronological order in these moves, except for this because one of these moves happened yesterday. One of these happened too. It gives me a lot of a pleasure saying the Phillies signed 2 bums for the rotation. So Matt Moore and what's his name? Anderson, right? Chase Anderson.
Chase
Is,
Anderson.
that's gonna help the Phillies compete this year. So
I don't
fourth
know.
place Phillies.
Matt Moore was super good before surgeries.
Exactly. He just got crazy injured. He wouldn't stop getting injured and was in Japan last year. I don't know. He's making $3 million a year, so I guess pretty solid. He had some good years with the Rays, but I don't think
Chase
he's gonna be
Anderson's
anything
kind of just
special.
been like
Chase Anderson's terrible. He had
slightly
like a 7
below
ERA
average.
last year. He had like a 7
Below
ERA
average.
last year. He wears his freaking rosin on the back of his hat, which is really weird.
That's so
Not
weird.
much to say about him except he's really bad. 2 retirements: Daniel Murphy and Dustin Pedroia. I'll always love Murph. Went off in the playoffs. Did in 2015? Did his defense possibly cost us a World Series? Yes. Did he improve with a division rival? Yes. But I always love Murph. It's sad to see. I think it's time to hang it up when you can't even hit. Excuse me, in Colorado. So, never a great defender, but he was always a really good hitter. Great DH.
So
I guess
clutch.
you could play him at first base. Super clutch hitter. I'll always love Murph. And Dustin Pedroia is just a freaking legend. I know even before I got in baseball, when I was super young, living in New York, all the Yankee fans were like, "Oh, Dustin Pedroia." So it's sad to see his, career. Daniel
I never got to
Chapstick
see him
Murphy.
play.
That's true. After he made some clutch error in the playoffs, he put freaking chapstick on. So yeah, legend. But Dustin Pedroia, it sucks to see his career end with injuries. It's always a shame seeing that. Thanks Manny Machado, I guess, sliding in too hard. I guess like another Ruben Tejada type situation, but sucks to see that. But great career
don't
to
get
both
me
of them.
started.
On what?
Yep. Oh, Ruben
On what?
Tejada. I hate David Freese. David Freese sliding into Ruben Tejada.
No, it was Chase Utley.
Oh, it was Chase Utley. My bad. That's what I meant.
Machado destroyed Pedroia's career. Yeah, no, it was. I don't think David Freese was with the Dodgers yet. I think he was still with the Pirates then, or a different team. I don't know, but no, it was Chase Utley. Yeah, but legendary career to both of them. Daniel Murphy, obviously not a Hall of Famer. Dustin Pedroia, probably not.
Oh, no.
Especially nowadays, how exclusive it is. But
they'll make the ballot.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Pedroia will be on for
won't.
a couple of years.
Pedroia will. Murphy won't.
I don't know. For those playoff accolades.
No, I don't think he will.
LaTroy Hawkins.
The Nationals.
LaTroy Hawkins was on the ballot last year.
Fair.
Jonathan Papeldush is going to be on for a good 5-6 years. I hate Papeldush, but he's going to make it.
I'll be honest, I don't even know who the hell
definitely.
that is, but I don't think Murphy's a even Hall of Fame ballot. We'll see. I'd love to see him on there, but we'll see.
We'll see.
Next move. Indians have signed Eddie Rosario. So now they got Ahmed Rosario and Eddie Rosario. So when you watch the games, they have to put their first name initial. But there were rumors that they wanted to trade Ahmed Rosario after trading for him.
That's kind of clever. I love when teams do that.
Yeah, it's almost like a 3-way trade. Like what happened when it happened last with Carlos Santana, where he went from the He signed with the Phillies, then traded to the Mariners, and then traded for Edwin Encarnacion. He went.
Oh
back to
yeah.
Cleveland. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a 1-year contract worth $8 million. $8 million. You're getting, which is a bargain for a player of his caliber.
For
he doesn't
sure.
really walk much, but he hits really well. Decent left fielder. I still don't understand why the Twins let him go. I guess they have some other replacement options within.
Alex
you know,
Kirilloff. I mean,
yeah,
I guess.
Kirilloff, Arraez can play. Arise, whatever his name is, can play some outfield. So
Oh, I
Indians
don't want to
signed
see
Eddie
Rise in the
Rosario.
outfield.
Oh yeah, he's kind of a big dude, but he's a
Yeah,
utility
he's
guy.
a big dude.
Big dude. But he's either gonna be like a bench bat or a outfielder now with Anderson Simmons. Like he
Yeah,
moves
that's
Scope
true.
to second.
Mm.
But Rosario is gonna be playing left field for the Indians, so it looks like their outfield's gonna be him, Mercado in center probably, and then who the hell even plays right? Freaking.
Franimal Reyes.
Oh no, he's DH.
Well, I mean, yeah. I don't know. Greg Allen's gone, so
Greg Allen's gone. He's on the Yankees.
yeah.
We got traded to the Padres and then went to the Yankees. You
Yeah,
got
no,
what's his
I'm just
name?
saying.
Tyler Naquin,
Oh, that's
Jake
probably it.
Bowers, someone like
Not Jake
that.
Bowers.
Yeah.
Not Jake
But
Bowers.
and then so the rest of their team. Oh, he's terrible. I know. The rest of their team. Ramirez at third. It's probably gonna be Jimenez at short. Med Rosario at second base, and then I think they have a first baseman. I'm not quite sure.
Cesar. What about Cesar?
Oh, they re-signed him. So Rosario's
Mhm.
probably going. Or they might move Rosario to the outfield.
Probably,
I
actually.
mean, there were
Put him
talks
in
about
center,
Ahmed
right?
Rosario. So
Yeah,
imagine him
yeah.
in center when him and Eddie go in on a ball, and then you see Rosario on the back of the jersey, and then they look very similar too. I don't know if
Mhm.
they're related, but they look similar. It's
Mhm.
actually here. Let me pull up a side by side. Let me see if I can find a side by side. But Eddie Rosario is he's just a solid player.
Oh, for
So
sure.
let me screen share right here. So this is Ahmed Rosario. It's actually shot. They've got to be related. This is Ahmed Rosario, right here.
Mhm.
So you can see him right here.
Very
You get the
nice.
idea. Sorry to all the new people on iTunes and my new podcast. Is that just me, or is that pretty similar?
That's pretty similar. You can see it. You can see it. The nose is what
A
gets
little
it,
bit.
though. It's like Eddie Rosario's nose is just so much different.
I know one of them is from Puerto Rico, and one of them is from the DR. I think Eddie's from the DR, or Puerto Rico. Ahmed's from the DR, so they're not like brothers or anything. But definitely interesting to see that. You know me. Whenever a trade comes, when you ever sign a position player, the first thing I say is, "How's the defense going to be?" I don't know. I think that's so cool with all the whether you have versatility or not. Quick re-sign right here. Your boy Didi Gregorius returns to Philly. Their team still sucks, but
I
they're
like him in a
retaining the
Phillies
same
uniform.
team. Yeah, he's back with Girardi. This doesn't make the team better, but it doesn't make him worse because you're getting the same player. Had a solid year last year though. Let me pull up his numbers. Kind of a
OPS over 800.
That's good to see. He's pretty much a slightly above average shortstop, not an elite fielder, but not a bad fielder. It was going to be interesting to see him outside of Yankee Stadium, but luckily he was in a very hitter-friendly park. So he had some solid numbers. So he had a 284 average, which is your favorite, 339 on base. Not anything elite, but not bad. 827 OPS. Has that big left-handed swing still.
So pretty.
He's a solid
so
ball player.
pretty.
Yeah, nice. Pretty long swing. Really nice swing and just a solid pickup for them for sure. So Hayden says now they're not related. Just common Hispanic last name. Yeah. I know they're not related. They just look a little similar. But there's all sorts of Rosarios. But this is a good question right here before we get into another news topic. Which MLB division is going to have the most suspenseful 2021?
The East.
I say the NL East. NL East.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Both NL and AL.
Yeah, I would say the NL. I don't think the AL is as competitive as people think. I think the Yankees are by far the best team in the division because you can compare the lineups, but you could say the Yankees don't have a great pitching, but neither do the Blue Jays.
No.
And I mean the Rays. I don't think they're gonna be like the great team
I just
they were
think
this
what
year.
the thing is though, the Yankees could not beat the Rays last year to save their lives until the ALDS. The Blue Jays did not fare as badly as the Yankees did, so there is that definite room for ability to catch the Yankees.
Different
in a
Rays
sense.
team though. I mean, you don't
that
have
is true.
Morton and Snell. Like this is
the Yankees were actually very solid against Snell. I do remember. Like they got him
You know
out.
who was solid? You know who on the Rays was really solid against the Yankees?
3-2. Brasso sends one into left field. Gardner going back, and it is up and gone. Mike Brasso has homered.
I gotta memorize that shit because
I already have it.
say it. But yeah, good old Mike Brasso moments. To all you who
I
are
thought
new,
you were gonna.
it's
I
Ben's
thought
favorite
for
player.
sure you were gonna do or say Ryan Yarbrough or one of their like low level
no.
relievers. So
Oh,
you
yeah.
caught me off guard so much, and I should not have been caught
I
off
know it's
guard.
only funny when like it's surprising for you. If it's too obvious, like it's not good. But
Mhm. That one should have been obvious, and it wasn't.
I know. I was like, oh, this probably won't be that good. But I'm here. Rob Manfred. I am the. Oh, dude, what's up, Robbie? Bro, Rob, do me a favor. Can you please? I'll pay you money. Can you please have the DH? Very pretty, please have the DH National League. I don't want to see Dom Smith
$5,
out there in left
$5.
field. I'll pay you money. I'll give you a shout out. Shout out to Robert Manfred. Dude, there's a channel I watch, a Jets channel, and they do live streams, and they always have people in the comments like with like names of like the players and the coaches like this and their pictures, and it's always funny. And like they did one thing, they did a halftime cooking show, and one person made an account called Gordon Ramsay, so he was like shit talking the food and stuff. Oh my LOL. But Rob Manfred, please subscribe, man. Call in if you want. I'd love to talk with you. Don't wear earbuds because you know how you talk when you have to listen to yourself.
Yeah.
You know the drill.
Don't make that
Robbie.
mistake again.
Don't make that mistake again. I thought you were drunk, but please feel free to eat him out. Yeah, should I put him in timeout? I can, but no, I'm not. What did you say? So I'm here, Comrade Hayden Astros. Is that Hayden? Are you this guy?
That's what I thought.
I'm like, are you running 2 streams at the same time? I don't know. But
That's
it's
impressive.
giving us an extra viewers. That's sweet. Yeah.
Yeah.
Another move. Carlos Rondon back to the White Sox. I'm not too familiar with him. I'm going to pull up his numbers real quick.
Hard throwing lefty.
Yeah.
That's really all
he's
you
a
need to know.
lefty. So let's
Not
see his
that
stats
good.
right here.
Kind of like a
not great.
pre-breakout Lucas Giolito. That's how I would say.
Oh, well, he was bad.
Yeah.
Well, he's on a 1-year contract, 1 year, $3 million. So last year he had a 8.22 ERA. I don't even know why I put this in here. Like it's kind of irrelevant. But next, Cubs decided to sign someone. Hayden says no, it's not him. But
let's go.
I'm confused. Why does it say Hayden in the thing? Hayden Astros. I don't know. But Cubs signed Trevor Williams from the Pirates. It's kind of weird thinking like if the Pirates didn't trade everyone, the rotation isn't that bad. Like I'm a big fan of Mitch Keller. You got Jameson Tyone, Joe Musgrove. I think can be really good. Trevor Williams is okay, but no bribes. It's his friend from school. Well, Hayden's friend from school.
Nice.
Thank you for checking out our show, man. Appreciate that. Let's take a look at.
Whoa, wait, Hayden, you go to school with Rob Manfred? He's like 50 or 60
He's
or
like
something.
old, dude. Like
that's so weird.
Maybe Hayden he's some fucking genius who goes to some college or something.
Yeah. Robbie's your professor or something.
So not a great year from Trevor Williams. Last year was 6.18 ERA, but his career ERA is 4.43, so just super solid. You know, last year, 2019, not great, 5.38, but 3.11, 2018, 4.07, and 7.82. So he's very up and down, it seems. I'm not the most familiar on him. I know the Mets, before Porter got fired, were looking into him for some depth, but I guess solid pickup. You know, what's he going to be now in the rotation, a 3 or 4? Like, who's their ace now? Kyle Hendricks, their ace. Then probably Zach Davies, and then
Alec Mills,
yeah. Then
Trevor Williams.
Yeah. We talked about Alex Cobb to the Angels. Just please sign someone good. Please sign or trade someone. Angels. I'm literally starting to doubt if Mike Trout will ever make the playoffs.
Sign Bauer.
It's frustrating. If
sign Bauer, sign Bauer.
They said they're not going to sign Bauer.
I don't care. Sign Bauer.
LOL. Well, I don't think they will. But all right.
I don't think they will either, but I want them to.
let's talk Mets. Mets trade for Jordan Yamamoto, and honestly, as bad as he was last year, dude, I'm gonna pull up his numbers on screen share because I just want people.
ERA. Okay, yeah. I won't spoil it.
I want the big reveal.
Oh yeah, it's a big
and
one.
we will say it out loud to all you guys listening on the podcast. We will say this out loud, but just check out these freaking beautiful numbers.
You can't count them on two hands.
That's very true. 18.3 three batters on base per inning.
Oh.
So obviously he got DFA'd after an awful year, but I like the move. Who's your favorite Houston Astro? And we'll get back to this. Greinke. Greinke's just a freaking oddball, but I love him. I hate all the hitters because they're cheaters. My least favorite is either Reddick or Correa. Brantley, yeah, he's cool. He's just kind of boring, but
okay. Obviously Greinke is like everyone's favorite. If he's not your favorite, then you're lying. I like Brantley as my number 2 there though, because he's just.
I'd say 2, just not a cheater. Jordan's not a cheater either. So, back to this talk about who we're talking about. Jordan Yamamoto. So, yes, he was terrible last year, and an 18.26 ERA and a 3 WHIP. But the year before that, he started out real hot. Now, a lot of rookie pitchers start out real hot. So here, let me find his.
I was really high on him, like right after his debut. I was like, "Oh shit, this kid's gonna be good."
I was too. So he had a 4.46 ERA and a 4.51 FIP. So decent numbers, not anything special, but he didn't pitch much. It was just 2018 or 2019 or 2019.
2020.
Both years. Yeah, 2020 he didn't pitch much, but thank God he didn't pitch much because, my God, I remember we played him against the
22 runs in 11 innings. I don't care how small that is of a sample size. That's enough
I don't
innings
think
to
he made
tell me
it out
that's
of the second
horrendous.
inning, but he has a high upside. He was traded for Christian Yelich, and he was clearly a top prospect at some point. He has some upside. I'm pretty sure he went to the same high school as Tua Tagovailoa, so I hate him because I fucking hate Tua because he's on the Dolphins, but and I think he's fucking overrated as shit. If there's any football fans out there,
thank you. He is is overrated. I'm
Dude,
not even a big. I agree with you. I don't think he's that good.
What the hell is the obsession with him? His arm's not good. He's not very. People say he's like mobile. I know he's not even that mobile. Even before he got injured, I know guys were going on football tangent. I say if he didn't have a cool name and he didn't throw the ball with his left hand and he didn't go to Alabama, yeah. Have you seen his full name? Hold up,
no.
I gotta pull up.
I thought that was his full name. Please tell me it starts with a T.
It's not. It is. It's not. He was short for his full name. Look at this shit.
Ooh.
All right. Can you see?
Whoa.
Tua Anigama Ula Poleo. Wait, sorry. Tua Nigam An Ole Pola Tagovailoa. So Jordan Yamamoto, same school as the most overrated quarterback in football. But hey man, he might be a good football player. We'll see. But he had a high upside at one point, and he's literally going to be our 7th starter now. So why the hell not? You traded nothing for him. You traded some super low level minor leaguer. I think you traded probably like a non-prospect for him. Did the Marlins see something we didn't that they made him give up? They gave up on him so soon. I think you kind of have to after a guy has a 22 ERA or whatever he had.
He allowed 12 earned runs in one start. 12.
Who's that against?
I'm not sure.
The one against the Marlins? I mean the Braves. No, I think that was
probably.
Yeah, probably when they scored like 26 runs against them.
Yeah.
But I just like the solid pickup. It's a low risk, okay reward, but potentially high reward. And it's just a solid swing. Why the hell not? As your 7th starter, maybe you can come out in the bullpen. He doesn't have awful stuff, so big boy word. Oh, what? Tua Tagovailoa. That's a very big boy word.
Thanks, Rob.
Man, I freaking love this chat, bro. Google which ML player has the longest last name. It's definitely Asher Wojciechowski. We don't even have to Google it. Just look at his name on the back of the jersey. Mets played against him. Obviously, yeah, Mike Yastrzemski. Yankees always played against him. By the way, Ben, you gotta tell some of anyone of you know is a Yankees fan to call in because we got Mets fans, we got a Red Sox fan, we got whatever the hell beats him up was last week. I think he was a Yankee fan. Beat him up.
He
By
was.
the way, that dude made my freaking life, dude. That was hilarious. But
I know, right?
Let's go to the freaking blockbuster. I'm so proud of this title down here. Arenado to STL. WTF are the Rockies doing? A lot of exclamation points. So before we get into this, you would assume that they're going full rebuild, but nope. The owner came out and said, "Oh, he just didn't want to be with us. We're not going full rebuild." And then he said they're not going to trade Trevor Story with 1 year left on his contract. So you're going to let him walk for nothing and get a fucking comp pick or something?
Well, not to mention that Arenado has opt-outs, like, I think in a year. So what's really the difference? He would have just opted out if he was still on the Rockies.
Dude, Hayden's last name is freaking long. I remember when I was
What is
making
it?
contact for him because I forgot, but we were exchanging numbers and I had to freaking keep checking what it was because it took, man, Hayden does have a good last name. Now, Tungavailoa and Wojciechowski, there's some competition there.
The longest one all time
Ben,
is
attempt to say this.
Jurgaluich.
Jurgaluwitz. Try saying that once. Good job, Ben.
Jurgaluwitz. Oh, I actually got it. Let's go.
I think that's it. Hey, let us know if we're correct, man. But so back to Nolan Arenado. So Trevor, they're not trading him. Now, what I think who should trade for him? I want your input on this. To the Yankees, and then you trade either Urshela or Voit or Torres. You trade one of them. Would you do it?
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Which one would you want to give up on? Because the obvious pick is to trade Luke Voit because he has the most value and he's, first baseman you could move LeMahieu.
Yeah, I think I would actually rather try to base it around Torres because he's much, much younger and he has shown more than Voit has overall.
He had 38 home runs. He plays obviously a more premium position.
Yeah.
Oh, we didn't say it right. Damn. But he obviously plays some, second base, shortstop. You're gonna, if you're trading for him, you're most likely making him your second baseman. You're not gonna try to play him at shortstop unless you necessarily have to. Which, by the way, this year I want to stream some games this year, either both Mets and Yankees games on here. Whenever freaking ball gets hit to Torres, we gotta hold our breaths, cross our fingers. That's gonna be every time a ball goes near Nimmo, Smith in left field, or JD Davis next year. I'm just gonna be
anytime it's hit anywhere in the Mets infield, except for
we got Lindor, buddy. We got McNeil.
Except for the middle.
Yeah, up the middle. Well, center field is technically up the middle.
Yeah, I mean, you guys are gonna get.
How many games will get a boo boo? Well, there's two types of boo boos. So, Robert, 32. So, do you mean boo boo by injury? So that'll mean I'd say 45.
I'm going 27. Lucky number 27, number he
number?
wears. Yeah, make it special,
Yep. And how many games will he get booed by Yankee fans for underperforming and getting paid too much? Because Yankee fans are ungrateful.
I know, right? I don't think Stan is we're paying him, I think, what, $15 million this year? We were paying him less than $15 million last year. So I don't necessarily think that he's
so many years. He got 13 years when he originally signed the contract with Miami.
Yeah, I don't think it's that bad. His contract's gonna be expiring same time around Cole's, so we'll go into a slump period in 10 years from now that we have to tank
or you just
and
draft well.
Or we can draft well.
You don't have to tank. That's the thing. In sports, not just baseball, people think, oh, after you're good, you have to be bad for a while. I'm you don't necessarily have to.
Yeah, but I mean, we don't necessarily draft the best people. We tend to get our international free agent signings tend to be incredibly good. Dominguez, the Martian himself.
By the
and
way,
Davey
what
Garcia
are your thoughts
was
on
also
David
international.
Garcia not making the top 100 prospects?
I don't really understand why you wouldn't. I mean, his fastball moved so much last year.
I think he's better than Clark Schmidt.
I'm gonna say no to that just because
Maybe
of Clark Schmidt's slider. It was
prospects are all about
disgusting.
upside. Prospects are like, all about upside and stuff. Like Mauricio hasn't really put the numbers up with the Mets, but he's got a ton of upside, size, stuff like that. So prospects, a projection. So I think
Yeah.
that's why Davy Garcia, but like he followed the prospect, he still has his rookie status, all that. So it is kind of surprising. But let's go back to Arenado.
All right.
Because we get, if you guys are new to the show, we get sidetracked like crazy. We used to do the show over on a Zoom chat, a Zoom call, and we were like, we get distracted really easily. We sidetrack. What should we do? Oh yeah, let's have live callers in a freaking live chat. That'll help. But so here's the trade details. Nolan Arenado, the best third baseman in baseball, my opinion. That's your number 3, right?
Oh, well, whoa, wait a minute. Is this man talking about Davy Garcia's 90-mile-an-hour fastball and 3 common pitches very foolish? Is that Davy Garcia? Because I'll have you know that movement is much, much more impactful than velocity. So a 90-mile-an-hour fastball, which is
like look at Jordan Hicks. Like he's got speed, he's got velocity, but he's got no control. He's got movement, but you need a mix of all 3.
Yes. So what I'm saying is that not only did Davey have, I think it was like 92.1 miles an hour on his average for fastball, his curveball had quite a bit of depth, and also not to mention that his fastball actually I think was in the top 10th percentile in spin rate and vertical movement. So he gets a lot of rise compared to the average pitcher. That's why he can throw a ball at 91 and still overpower you.
Oh, it's full. Oh, he's basically saying. Oh, okay.
Thank you.
That makes sense. All right.
We love little Pedro here.
Yeah, no, he's a small guy, but he for a small guy he throws gas. I mean, 92 isn't bad. I mean, Ryu doesn't throw 92. He's obviously a lefty. It's a bit different with that. But let's go to this. So it's Nolan Arenado and $50 million. So think about this. If you're a player, an elite player is on a big contract, but it's still a big contract. It's a lot to take up on. He has an opt-out clause, so he's less valuable. So you take on some of that contract, you expect a big haul. Austin Gomber, Mateo Gil, Elias Montero, Tony Losi, Jake Sommers. Who? So
I think I've heard pitcher, of 2 of
an
those.
Infielder, a third baseman, and 2 right-hand pitchers.
Pitchers too.
I mean, you got to get ground ball pitchers in Colorado pretty much.
Yeah, no, I just don't like pitching prospects because they tend to just not pan out nearly as much as hitting prospects do, from what I've seen. I could be wrong though.
It's just you're getting nothing.
It baffles me. Baffling.
You're stuttering, man. Yeah, you're not going to get a Dylan Carlson, but maybe a Nolan Gorman, someone like that. Like the talks before this offseason, there were, people were talking about, nationals. You can get like a Carter Keyboom and a couple prospects. I know Carter Keyboom hasn't been anything at the major league level, but
is he still
had that.
Is he still considered a prospect?
I think so.
Because he wasn't in the top 100.
No. Yeah, then no.
Yeah, no, it can't be.
Because there's no way he would fall out of the top 100 just because of bad major league performance.
Mm-hmm.
Which
Davey did.
Let me ask you
and
something.
Davey wasn't that bad.
Instead of doing the top, the shortstop ranking, do you want to just go over the top 100 prospects?
Sure.
All right. Let's just. Sorry to anyone who was excited about that. I'm going to take it out of it. We're going to do it next year because we've been going at this for like an hour, so I want to have some time to actually go in depth with the shortstop. We kind of rushed it with a third base one, so I kind of want to avoid that. So, I don't really know, but I really want Mackenzie Gore. He's ridiculous, but I think it would literally take Jacob deGrom to get him. Like, you are not getting him. Like,
he's so fun to watch. Oh my god. I'm sorry. There are some like pitching prospects and just like pitchers in general that like I just cannot take my mind off once I start thinking about him. Mackenzie Gore's one of them. And
you know what?
Luis Patino's another one. Have you seen some of the fastballs this kid's thrown?
They got crazy rise.
It's in so much rise with so much velo. Ooh, I'm such a nerd.
You know what? Now that we're
Oh my
talking
God, it's
prospects,
so
let's
sexy.
we'll come back to Arenado. I know it's weird that we're freaking, we're the freaking one of the biggest trades of the offseason. We're like, we'll come back to it. Let's talk prospects right now, real quick. So here, let's get the
All right.
full top 100. So we got some familiar faces right here. Just load. It's a bit laggy just because I'm screen sharing and whatever. All right, so number 100. We're not going to go individual because I'm not familiar with all these. Taylor Trammell, he's dropped a bit. He'll probably be in the
He was
major
really
leagues this
high
year.
up. Yeah, he's definitely
He
a
was-
2021 estimated.
Yep. So he's Major League Baseball level.
Yeah.
Getting trade for Austin Nola, it's kind of a sign maybe they don't believe, the Padres didn't believe in him as much. Not saying Austin Nola is bad, but he don't trade like a top prospect for him.
Mhm.
But I'm curious to see what he can do. He'll probably be either an outfielder or a DH before the other guys come up, which
His defense and
one of those-
speed are quite good, so I do think he's definitely going to be.
It's going to be tough putting him at DH, but you got so many outfielders on that team.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about the two other outfielders. One of them I don't really want to talk about, but we'll have to. So yeah, going down the list, Bryce Turang. I think he's the only Brewers top 100 prospect. Their farm system's terrible. Tyler Stevenson showed some flashes in the major leagues last year, so I think he might be their catcher next year. Brett Beatty, we'll talk about him. Obviously, Mets Yankees channel, so we'll talk about him. So his ETA 2022 first round pick. Now his fielding, I wish it was better because we don't need another first baseman. There's been talks about him moving, to first base. We don't need that. He's obviously is not the best runner, but his power is exciting and his arm's exciting.
Mhm.
He can maybe be the third baseman for the future. Just really got to improve that defense. But I like Brett Beatty. Wouldn't kill the Mets if they traded him, but he's a guy I definitely want to hold on to. Bobby Dahlbeck played well for the Red Sox last year. He'll
Surprised he
probably
was
be
that
their.
low.
I think he should be their. I think he'll be their third. I think he should be their third baseman next year. Probably will play first base
Yep.
though. I just think Devers is such a bad fielder.
Oh, Dahlbeck's
Dane
even
Dunning.
worse.
Oh really?
Yeah.
He is.
Mhm.
What about his fielding is bad? It's just like range or
Everything. His
everything.
arm is like, yeah, it's just
What are
horrendous.
his fielding grades? So it's I don't know if this is fielding for first or third base, but 55 field, 70 arm. Well, that's great.
70 arm.
But
wow.
that definitely plays at
Okay.
third base. But Dane Dunning got traded for Lance Lynn, so he'll probably be up this year with the Rangers. I think they shouldn't rush him. I don't think they're going to be ready for another couple of years. So you want to keep
Mhm.
that control. But if he's ready, I guess you have to have him pitch, especially when your best pitcher is what's his name? Kyle. What's his name? He was on the Twins.
Who are we even talking about? I kind of was just pulling up the prospect list.
Kyle Gibson, the Rangers. We're talking Dane
Yep.
Dunning.
Yep.
Shane Baz was a player to be named later from the Chris Archer trade. So poor Pirates.
Watch this man's
Clark Schmidt.
fastball.
Yep.
Clark Schmidt.
Clark Schmidt. Let's talk about this guy.
Look at the slider. Look at the slider. Read and weep.
Wait, where is
It should be at least 70. I don't know.
It doesn't say he has a slider.
It might mark it as a curve.
Curveball control.
Oh, yeah, probably.
Curveball
Yeah,
is
it's a curve
60,
man.
60 grade curveball is great. 60 grade fastball. Changeup keys a little work, but it's good. Overall 55. Controls 50. That could use some work too. So what's his ETA? He's
2021.
2020. Oh, so he might come up this year. I think think they'll give him another year. I don't think they're looking to rush him. Well,
I mean, he was up last year.
Oh, he was? Never
Yeah.
mind. I get him
He
in
showed flashes, but he wasn't that good.
I get him and Montgomery mixed up a little bit, but
Oh, yeah, I got you.
First round
You're
pick.
good.
But yeah, obviously, any last words about him just because you're the Yankees guy here?
No, I just have been raving. They say his fastball and curveball are on the same level. I'm going to call the curveball slider because it has curveball movement, but it has slider velocity.
Slurve.
Yeah, it's a slurve basically, and it's filthy. Like it's the next Kluber, in my opinion.
Oh Jesus!
Yeah,
Simeon Woods
so-
Richardson, we traded him for Stroman. I'm really bummed we traded that for him. I think the Stroman move. I think me and Hayden are doing a video worst moves by Brody Van Wagenen. I would consider the Stroman move just because at the time it doesn't make sense to give up prospects when if you need another pitcher, which the rotation wasn't the issue, it was the bullpen. If you need another pitcher, you could have went and signed Dallas Keuchel, who was on the market for a bit. But
Yep.
I like Stroman, but I'm bummed we had to give this guy up because 60 control is really solid. He's just got solid stuff all the way around. He's still decent way away, but he's going to be good for them. Well, not decent way away. He's at 2021. I don't know if he'll make it up this year, but we'll see.
Yeah, he's only
Xavier
20.
Edwards was in the Tommy Pham Cronenworth trade, so it's always interesting to see where guys who've been traded in big blockbusters where they end up. My boy, I've raved about this guy, Sam Huff.
What?
No, just his stats this year in such a bad team. I know it was a small sample size, but he played in such a bad team. You know how you have like your guy who you think is going to be good. This is it. So he hit. I heard about him. This is mine. So like prospect wise, I could be totally wrong because I'm not some like analyst or whatever. But he hit a mega home run in the Futures game, and 60 power for catcher is just insane.
Yeah.
And he, in one of the worst lineups in baseball last year, he was really good. So no protection, stuff like that. Ryan Mountcastle. I think he's going to be a stud. First baseman.
He was insane last year.
He was really good last year.
So good.
Matthew Allen. So he's way away. He was a 3rd round pick, but he was a 1st round talent just because we've talked about this, how fucking stupid the MLB draft is, where you can't draft someone because you can't afford them or whatever. Stupid as fuck. But fastball 65, nice. 60 curveball, that's great. 55 control could be a little better. 50 overall, super high upside. He's one of my untouchables on the Mets. I think Alvarez, Crow Armstrong, and Matthew Allen are the guys I have no interest in trading. He's ETA 2023, so it's not like you're going to rush him. You know, you don't need to rely on him.
He's only 19.
Super young still. Reed Detmers, 1st round pick. Please come up soon because the Angels need you. Brandon McKay, it looks like his 2-way playing days are over, and I've always thought he was a super overrated prospect. Like, he's not anything special as a pitcher. He was like a top 20 prospect before as a relief pitcher, but probably because you had that 2-way ability. It looks like they're not rolling with that anymore. So I think he's going to be a slightly above average reliever. So he's dropped off a bunch. Curious to see what they do with him. Hunter Green too. He was a 2-way player. He was talked about being either a 1st overall pick in at a pitcher or a shortstop, but he got picked 2nd overall. Royce Lewis went 1st overall, but he went looks like he's a full-time pitcher now, which it's cool seeing seeing the 2-way players, but it's kind of unrealistic. Heston Kjerstad was kind of a controversial draft pick.
Yeah, I know. He was what, 2nd or 3rd overall?
2nd overall. He was like the 10th overall player, but he went 2nd overall. His power is good though. I'm not some swing expert or something, but he's got raw power and stuff. But it was a reach out of the stuff I was reading up on. Let's talk Ronnie Mauricio now. Now his stats, nothing great. A 304 on base percentage. He needs to work it at the plate better. He hasn't really been hitting for much power. Batting averages are solid, but his size and potential is what you like. 6'3", 166, with 60 power potential, 60 arm. I'm curious to see if we hold on to him, maybe converting him into an outfielder, maybe into a center fielder, just because, or a second base. But you got McNeil, unless you want McNeil to be your long-term 3rd baseman, or maybe make Mauricio a 3rd baseman. Get him some versatility because I think if we sign Lindor, which I very much think we will, his spot will be blocked. Oh, I was wrong. Garrett Mitchell. The Brewers actually have another top 100 outfielder.
Can we talk about Jazz Chisholm though? Because
I knew you were
this
about to
man
mention him. I know
is
you
a
like
human highlight reel.
Yeah.
Not only is he a shortstop with a very pretty left-handed swing, but he's got elite defense. I mean, he showed it off last year. I mean, obviously the prospect things don't necessarily tell you the entire story because he hit some very clutch home runs last year against the Yankees. I mean, that's crazy to say, seeing as he is a prospect, but he's also made some outstanding plays in the field. He is so fun to watch. His name is Jazz Chisholm. That is the coolest name I've ever seen.
He was traded prospect for he was traded prospect for prospect, which is pretty interesting. With Zach Gallen when he was still a prospect with Miami.
Ooh.
But yeah, which he's phenomenal too. But
Yeah,
Jazz
he's
Chisholm,
nice.
I started scrolling up and I'm like, oh wait, Ben's gonna want to mention Jazz Chisholm, but I'm glad he got him. O'Neal Cruz.
He killed somebody. 3 people.
I mean, just look at that. 6'7", 215 for a shortstop. Now, you don't know if he's gonna stay their shortstop long. I mean, they have Cole Tucker. He's a stud. But
oh yeah,
yeah,
Pittsburgh
our
legend Cole Tucker.
Yeah, 500 OPS or whatever. Oh, this is another one of my guys. I don't know what I like about the damn Rangers prospects, but Josh Young, this dude's good, man. He's gonna be good, man.
So much pop.
60 arm, 50 pound, just like not anything amazing. He was a really good college baseball player with I think he's with Texas Tech.
I don't know too much
I don't
about
know
college.
what these me neither, but I don't know what it is with these but he the best position player in Texas Tech history. Young went 8th overall in 2019 draft. Wait, what spot was Beatty taken? Because I swear, if we pass down Young for Beatty, because Young doesn't have much speed, but he's got so 12th. So we didn't have a shot at getting him. Okay, good, because his fielding is really good. He doesn't have the greatest range in the world, but he's got solid defense and he's got a really good hit tool. So I don't know why I'm all about the Rangers prospects, but he'll be good. Trust me.
I'm big on Nick Lodolo because he's a hard throwing lefty. Yeah, just real quick. So he's a lefty and he's 6'6" with a high velocity fastball.
205.
Yeah. And his slider is his best pitch though, and he's probably gonna be up near the top of the Reds rotation for a while to come.
Nice. Even with Castillo in them?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Cubber Ruiz is interesting.
Switch hitter.
He hit a switching hatcher. You don't really see that too often. He hit a home run like his first time would be at bat. But without the DH, I don't think he'll be up this year, but where is he gonna play? Like Wilson is phenomenal. They're high on they like Austin Barnes just because the chemistry he has with some of those pitchers. So I'll be curious to see where he plays. Maybe you move him to the Dodgers have so many options. Maybe move him to first base, or Will Smith to first base, one of them, because he's not the greatest defensively. He's solid defensively, not the greatest. But then you say, oh, you can move Max Muncy to second. Well, then where does Gavin Lux play? Well, I just thought about this. Gavin Lux to third.
And just don't sign Turner.
Gavin Lux, don't resign. Well, he wants 4 years and he's old. I mean, you don't have to sign him. Or you move Seager to third and Lux to short, something like that. I love talking about versatility, shit like that.
Yeah.
So Brandon Marsh, he'll probably be up with the Angels this year. It looks like Joe Adele won't be up. He struggled big time, but Brandon Marsh will probably be their left fielder for the long term. Tristan McKenzie had some good outings with the Indians last year. Jeter Downs.
Wait a minute. He's a string bean. He's 6'5" and he's 165 pounds.
Oh my God. He's a string bean slinger.
String bean slinger.
But he was pretty good last year.
Oh, he was great, yeah.
Jeter Downs a little while away, got traded for Mookie Betts, obviously. Now you get to say Jeter's in Boston. Like, how great
he was
is that?
named after Derek Jeter, too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Now he's playing with the Red Sox. This is my guy. I mean, he's not going to be up for a while. It's perfect. The McCann contract is perfect. That's 4 years, or you could have gone less on that. But he's pretty much the successor to James McCann. So James McCann's last year, he might start digressing again a bit. Alvarez will get some playing time, and then he'll be fully adjusted, to being a full-time player. Just you don't see, a catcher who can hit who also has good defense very often. You're a little more common now. He's pretty far away, obviously, but this is the one guy the Mets you can't trade.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. Most guys I don't think is going to be, you can't trade him unless they're like a super top. But he's a need for the future, and he's not going to be up for a while. It's not like he's a 2021 ETA when you got McCann, and it's like, oh, we don't have a use for him. You're going to have a use for him, so don't get rid of him. Luis Campusano, probably catcher of the future for the Padres. Spencer Howard, I thought when he was okay last year with the Phillies.
He got roughed up.
he got roughed up pretty. He hung a lot of curveballs. That was like there was this one pitch to Cano
Yeah.
that he just like you could tell right before he even swung the bat, oh, that's a home run, and it was. So Phillies. I don't know how great he's going to be as a 3. Solid, but I don't think he's going to be the ace that he was hyped up to be potentially at one
Mhm.
point. Forrest Whitley, when the hell is he going to pitch? This dude is so up and down, man. I mean, last year 7.99, year before 3.76. He's got good stuff, man. He's got, as a prospect, he's got, good
Oh, yeah.
potential. His control is really bad though. But I mean, 60 curveball, 60 fastball is great. But
6'7".
I'm curious to see what I think they need to call him up though. Like when the hell are you not going to?
Yeah.
Nick Madrigal, he's just going to be the definition of a solid player. He's never going to hit
I'm
for
very high on this kid.
I'm very high on him too. He's not going to hit for power, but he's going to hit for a silly high average.
And he's
in a
not
team that
going to
hits for a
strike
lot-
out at all.
Exactly. He doesn't strike out. He hits the ball to all fields. A team that has a lot of power hitters, he's the perfect complement to those hitters. Really good line of construction. Another White Sox, Michael Kopech. I really want to see this guy pitch because he's got like
Keeps getting injured.
80 fastball. His fastball is ridiculous. His first spring training appearance after coming back from Tommy John, was 100 miles an hour.
Yeah, you hit 101, right? Something like
Yep.
that.
And last year he opted out because of Corona, but hopefully I want to see him pitch for the White Sox. And he fit a big role in that rotation. Him, Giolito, Keuchel, Lance Lynn. Like, that's a World Series caliber team right there. Dylan
For sure.
Gorman, do they hang on to him? I think you hang on to him until Arenado either opts in or opts out. Then you might trade him. But it's interesting to see that. Matthew Liberatore, it's interesting that we're talking Arenado because it was rumored last year that they got him from the Rays in order to get to get Arenado, but obviously they gave up Randy Arozarena, rest is history. And then Jose Martinez is on the Mets now. So yeah, it's interesting to see that he's not with the Rockies now, but Nolan Jones, probably third baseman for the future.
He's basically
Cleveland,
just Nolan Gorman 2.0.
pretty much. I think
Same exact hitter.
I think Ramirez can play second base too, so you might move him there or move Nolan Jones. We'll see. Or he could play first base potentially, like we talked about, like Jimenez at short, Cesar Hernandez at second, Nolan Jones at first maybe. Drew Waters, I'm really high on. I don't think he might come up this year, which that young outfield is ridiculous. They might bring back Ozuna. They let Adam Duvall go, which were signs, I think, that they're going to call up Drew Waters, which I'm not looking forward to that. Switch hitter. He's got 55 hit, 60 run, which is really solid. 60 field, probably be their left fielder for the long term, and I'm not looking forward to that. Randy Arozarena shouldn't be a prospect anymore. I mean, like if you have the record hits in a playoff game, a playoff series, playoffs in general, not a prospect.
And home runs.
I'll let you say what you need to say to Patrick Mahomes. I mean, Jason Dominguez. He kind of looks like Patrick Mahomes.
I see it.
In this with I think it's the hair. But take it away on the Martian.
Did you know that Jason Dominguez is only 17 years old? Did 17? You know?
I'm 17. This dude's getting paid millions. I mean, what the hell am I doing with my life?
Shit, you're 17? Damn,
yeah,
okay.
17. Yeah.
Are you 5'10", 190?
No, I think I'm 5'9", 130.
All right, just quickly add like 60 pounds of muscle and you'll be there.
Yep, and then I'll be signed with the Yankees.
Yep, for what, like $6.5 million?
He got paid a ton. He's the most hyped and cooled international prospect in recent memory. He's got
ever.
To Bo Jackson, Mickey Mantle, and Mike Trout.
Yeah,
I think his MLB comp I've heard is Yohan Moncada, swing-wise, switch hitter, similar swings on both sides of the plate. Center fielder too, 55 field, 65 runs, phenomenal, 60 power. He's got all the potential in the world. He's obviously a work in progress, but the Yankees don't pay this much for a guy who's going to be a scrub. And 2024 ETA, yes, it's a while away, but this is someone you can get excited about every year, Yankee fans.
Oh, yeah. He might be number one prospect by the time he gets called up.
We'll see. Asa Lacy was probably the best pitching prospect in the draft last year.
For sure,
The
for
Royals will
sure.
probably be their future ace. Max Meyer was taken ahead of him, but those guys were interchangeable. Alex Kirilloff, he'll probably be their left fielder this year. Dude, the Detroit Tigers have potential. I mean, you got Hinch in the building, and you got Matt Manning, Tarek Skubal. We'll get to Casey Mize, and then Spencer Turnbull. And then you got, well, Matt Boyd sucks ass, but don't get me started on him. But Matt Manning, the combination of him, Tarek Skubal how was he in the majors last year?
I think it was
I've
actually
seen some of his highlights.
the best
Okay, it wasn't great.
of the three.
5.63. And Casey Mize wasn't great either. But eventually these guys.
Yeah,
are
Casey
gonna be
Mize
great.
was even worse.
Yeah, he wasn't good. His first start was good though. I picked him up on my fantasy team because usually rookie pitchers come up, first start unhittable and then just slump. Like Nate Pearson was great his first start too. We'll get to him.
So was what's
Joey
his name?
Bart.
Davey.
Oh really? No,
Yeah.
he pitched well against. I thought his debut was against the Mets.
His debut, I remember he went 6 innings without allowing a walk and only allowed like 2 hits.
Yeah, it was against the Mets, and we were terrible. And I didn't watch that game because it was such a heartbreaker. The game, it was a doubleheader, but then and then he kind of slumped towards the end of the year. That's very common with pitchers, with young pitchers
And
who
hitters,
finally get a proper
just
scouting
rookies.
report. Yeah, rookies in general, especially if you get called up mid season.
Mhm.
Joey Bart, he's another guy who kind of started okay and then really slumped, but 320 slugging, really bad. But I'm curious to see what they're gonna do with him because you got Buster Posey, you drafted Patrick Bailey, which he's was the best defensive catcher in the draft. I'll be curious to see what they'll do with him. Maybe you move Joey Bart to first base, but also you got Brandon Belt. I think they might keep him in the minor leagues another year, and this will probably be Posey's last year if I had to predict.
Yeah, probably. I mean,
it makes sense. I mean, how old is he? Was he 23?
Bart. I thought you were talking about Posey.
No, Bart. He's 24. Bart's 24. So I think he'll either split time this year and then take over full time next year, and I think they'll move on from Posey.
Yeah.
So then Austin Martin's going to be a fun player with the Blue Jays for the future, and they're in that infield. Riley Green, another super, high potential player for the Tigers in the future. 2022 ETA. They can honestly be good soon, just because they don't have to go when you're rebuilding. You kind of have to go to the process of acquiring prospects. They've already acquired their prospects. They just need those guys to develop. And they can always acquire more, sign guys, flip them at the deadline, stuff like that. Luis Patino, you've talked about. What's his fastball grade? 70 fastball. Him and Kopech, their fastball grades are absurd. Crazy rise. Ian Anderson, don't want to talk about him. He's going to be haunting my dreams for forever.
Same.
Freaking money in the playoffs. He was so good in the playoffs. He might be their ace for the future, to be honest. 60s all throughout, except 55, 50 control. He's going to be a stud. Super young rotation, super good rotation. Royce Lewis, he's had some good years, had some bad years. He's confusing. I think his draft status, being the first overall pick, is kept in this high, but he's been falling a bit. I don't know if you should get concerned yet, but maybe. Sixto Sanchez, another guy's going to be haunting my dreams. Now he's going to be playing on not a great team, but it's going to be tough hitting this guy.
I love watching him
Even
pitch.
with the great lineup we have. And his
can I say
changeup,
something really cool about his changeup? So this is something I learned from just like watching a bunch of video about not analytics, but like I guess it would be analytics, but it's like pitching mechanics.
Right.
So if you watch his highlights, you'll see that his changeup, his front leg, he lets it completely collapse like a foot to the side of where he normally plants it for his other pitches. So he plants his front foot on his fastball, like let's say just right where this hand is. His changeup, he then breaks it all the way down here. So his entire body is just throwing against like it's really hard to explain, but it's so cool. And it adds so much deception and takes off so much velocity. You have to kind of see it for yourself. Just look at his mechanics doing a fastball and then looking at a changeup. It's insane.
I hope he does make. I forgot we had comments because we weren't distracted with the prospect talk. I think having the graphic in front of us is like makes it easier not to get distracted. But yeah, and I'll take a quick comment before we get back to it. Extend Michael Conforto for $175 million, 7 years. Yeah, I do it. What's the AV on that? But I would give him 7. I like the years.
I kind of gotta go.
You got to go? All right.
Yeah.
Ben, thank you so much. I'll close up the show. We got some news we didn't get to, but we'll get to that next episode.
Thank
We'll
you.
have a good episode next time. Ben, say your goodbye, the one we talked about last time. We will see. Oh, I'll stay on a bit, but
Yeah. So
we will see you guys next
so
time.
yeah, one more.
Oh yeah.
One more thing about Casey Mize. His splitter is so good. We got to take a look at some of his highlights as there's a drive in
Dude,
a deep
you gotta
left
do a
field by
film show.
Castellanos. For sure. Yeah, that'd be so good. Because, like, if I can script things, I'm just money.
Yeah. All right.
So, yeah. Track.
Say your
I'll
closing
see.
statement.
I don't have.
No, say your
Which
closing
one?
statement.
Which
The one
one?
we talked about last time.
I
we
just
talking about last
tried
time.
to, and you cut me off. All right. Well,
Oh, I'm sorry. We were talking Casey Mize and film and shit. And sorry. Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, I went into it. I was going into it from Casey
talk.
Mize. All right.
Okay.
Casey Mize's splitter is so good. It's like insane. One of the best pitching prospects as I've ever seen. As there's a drive into deep left field by Castellanos, it will be a home run, and that'll be a 4-0 ball game. I don't know when I'll ever be putting these earbuds in again, whether that be with my buddy Elias or for my bosses at YouTube. I gotta go. Thank you. I'll be here next week.
Then whenever you have to leave early, you should do that. Should be your closer. And then when you stay till the end, then you'll have the regular closer.
Yeah,
I didn't know that pitch was
genius.
Casey Mize. I didn't know Casey Mize threw that pitch
What?
against the Reds. Wait, that was a Casey Mize splitter that he hit the home run on?
Oh no, I don't know who he hit it off of.
Oh, I was confused what Casey Mize had to do with it. But
No, I was just trying to get something to segue into it.
Right. Okay. Ben, thank you as always. Guys, we're not going to get to the rest of the news. I'll finish out the prospect talk. Ben, thank you so much. As always. See you next time, man. All right. Going to finish up the show here. We got a bit long talking, nerding out over prospects, but Sixto Sanchez is just going to be a beast for a while, man. 70 fastball is incredible. 60 overall, 65 changeup. His changeup's ridiculous. Andrew Vaughn, either going to be the DH or the first baseman for the future with the White Sox. Dylan Carlson, either right fielder, left fielder. Big leg kick in his swing, which I like, but 60 overall. He's going to be a stud. Really good hitter. Didn't put up the numbers last year, but believe me, he will. Christian Pache, he's going to be a Gold Glover in the future. He's absurd defensively. He's not going to be the greatest hitter in the world, but you don't really need that. You in center field, he'll be a good hitter, not an elite hitter, but you have that with the Braves already. Casey Mize, I mean, what's a splitter grade? It's 70 splitter. It's absurd. Not the best start to his career, but he's going to turn around. He's going to be something special. Same thing with Nate Pearson. His velocity is ridiculous. 80 fastball is just absurd. I mean, 80 fastball. Brian Hayes, I wish Ben was on here to talk about him. This is our guy, man. 75 field at third base is elite. He has the potential to be a top 10 first baseman after next year with some of the worst line of protection in the league. And then we got CJ Abrams. I'm curious to see when he's up, where they're going to play him. You're obviously not moving Tatis. You maybe move him to second base when the dude you get from Japan is when his contract is up. I would guess that. Or you move Abrams to the outfield. We'll see on that. Bobby Witt Jr., solid shortstop great shortstop prospect. A couple years away, he's going to be great. Obviously, dad played in the majors. Mackenzie Gore, best pitching prospect in baseball. Huge leg kick. It's weird that he's in rookie ball, but his ETH 2021. Confusing, but taking a look at his grades: 60 fastball, 60 slider, 60 control. Just he doesn't have the 80 fastball, but I think it should be higher than 60. He has crazy rise. And he's just intimidating with that leg kick, man. It's pretty nuts. Julio Rodriguez, Jared Kelenic. Don't want to talk about Jared Kelenic. Obviously got traded for Cano and Diaz, but their outfield's gonna be something special in the future. I think Kelenic comes out this year. Julio Rodriguez, you get one more year, so this outfield will probably be either Lewis, Kelenic, and Trammell, or Lewis, Haniger, and Trammell. We'll see. Spencer Torkelson, first pick in the draft. I think he's probably going to be more of a third baseman. Reminds me of Paul Goldschmidt, to be honest. He's just a super really good all around player, and for someone who's just drafted, he's not too far away. Adley Rutschman's going to be something special, obviously. Elite defense, elite arm, really good powers from both sides of the plate. And he was first pick in the draft for a reason. And then Wander Franco, I mean, what else hasn't been said about this kid? 80 hit is ridiculous. Not the greatest fielder in the world, but will be good enough. But with 80 hit, who cares? Guys, I'm going to wrap it up here. Thank you so much for watching, all you. Thank you to all the callers. As always, please check out the link tree below. We have kind of a longer episode. We're at an hour and a half right now. But check us out on Spotify, iTunes, or Apple Podcasts now. Please leave us a rating and a 5-star. Really appreciate that. Please share the channel with all your friends, all that. Thank you to all the callers, all the commenters. We didn't get to all the news this time. We're going to do that next time, though. Not too big of a deal. Thank you guys for watching again. Love you guys. I'll see you next time.